Good morning, Charles. How are you doing, sir?
Good luck. Thank you so much. Now this house has great features. All we have to do is show them off. They're expecting an offer any day now. We'll see you next time on Sell This House. She's spilling all
Hey,
of the
Charles.
interior design secrets.
I can hear your TV in the background.
There's nothing like a great kitchen to enhance a home, and this is nothing like a great.
There goes.
Yeah, no kidding. That's bizarre. Well, that's weird.
Send
It's
out
10
another email
o'clock.
out myself, you think?
Sure.
Okay, I'll stop sharing and then for a second and then go on to the Zoom page.
Yeah, I checked the right link this morning for the send out.
Yeah.
So did you get an email from me at 1:45?
Yep, I did.
With the link in it?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do this again here. I'll put the actual Zoom link on the email.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum.
Oh, we got a fourth person.
Yeah.
Oh, Greg. Okay, yeah.
Now. And the Zoom link is.
Morning, Josh. Morning, Greg.
Hey, David, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, we're just waiting for a few people to jump on board here. Morning, Greg.
Good morning.
Hello, gentlemen.
Good day, Mr. Wizard.
How's it going today, man?
Excellent. Excellent.
Hey, Alan.
Back up again. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Okay.
Now we're starting to see.
We'll start in about 5 minutes.
Sure.
Just waiting for people to get in here and.
I guess everybody waits till kind of the last minute to jump on.
Yeah. No kidding, man. Yeah, we'll wait till like 5 after till we start another 3 minutes, and then we'll start anyways, and then people can come on when they come on.
Yep.
Where are you guys coming from? Part of the world you in, Greg and Josh, Charles?
I'm in Seattle.
Seattle.
Ah, yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What's happening there right now? How's the weather?
Weather, they're doing big construction right outside my door. It's big construction. They're putting pipes in, but the weather's good. So, I mean, you know, winter. It's 50. Not as cold. You're up in Canada, right?
Yeah, Calgary, Canada. Yeah.
It's a little colder up. A little colder up there, right?
Not bad though. I mean, we've had some pretty mild days.
Not right now. We're having a bit of a heat wave. It's almost, yeah.
I wouldn't say heat wave.
Almost bathing suit.
I would say a mild wave, which is nice for a change. So, and then poor BC. BC's getting slaughtered with rain. All the flooding there and everything else happening just to the west of us.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Vancouver's only, 3 hours from here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
They're getting the
beautiful
SHIT
city
kicked out of them. Yeah.
Beautiful city.
Okay, David. Well, I think we should start.
I'm just going to say I'm going to take a shot at pronouncing your first name here. Is it Eulalie? Eulalie. Okay, and welcome.
Eulalie. Welcome.
And
thank you for being here, everybody.
Charles.
Okay, Dave. Want to get started here?
Yeah, let's get started. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
Oh, there's another one joining on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming to the Marketing Your Business, Your Roadmap to Success workshop with myself and my partner in crime, David Saxby. We'll give you some great actionable information today. The biggest thing we find is that people say to us, oh, I wish I would have started taking notes sooner. So get out your pad of paper and your pen, take lots of notes. We'll have a Q&A session twice in the workshop. And if you have any specific questions, please ask us in the break in the middle and the break at the end. So this is how things are going to go today. We're going to take the fear out of your online marketing because people have told us, when they come to marketing, there's so much information and also misinformation out there. People don't do it at all, too complicated. I think it'll be too costly. They don't want to pay for something else they're going to use. And, you don't have anyone to help if you have questions. And that's the biggest thing we find from myself, even going to workshops and other places. It's like, okay, you do the workshop, you start to implement some of the things, and then you have lots of questions to ask. So, just know that after the workshop finishes today, you have us as a resource. Make sure you send myself and David a connection request on LinkedIn. If you don't have them, if we're not our first connections already, don't hesitate to send this to us. We'll be happy to help you and support you after today as well. Today is going to go like this. 2 minutes just telling you about myself and David, about what our background, why we're qualified to train you. Then 43 minutes of pure great content. 5 minutes how we can help you, and then a total of between the middle and the end, 10 minutes of Q&A. And once again, please write your questions down on your piece of paper and save them for the middle and end. So why us? Well, David has been doing this since Moses was born. He's been 40 years of sales and marketing expert, professional speaker. The biggest thing I say about David is he has this great system about analyzing your business and analyzing everything in your business, from your marketing to your follow-up systems to your lead generation. I mean, everything you possibly think of in your business, David has a system to analyze that for you, and then he has a system to deliver results for you as far as what you should do and how you should do it.
And Alan's president of Lead Wizard. He's had 25 plus years in the digital marketing space and website design field, and 13 years working with LinkedIn as a trainer, and then 10 years working directly with clients to develop the lead generation process. He knows the ins and outs of LinkedIn and continues to update everything that is connected to LinkedIn to keep people informed of what the changes are and how to help them improve their lead generation. So he's got a lot of great information today, specifically about LinkedIn and how you can use that to generate leads, and also to build a robust database for continual marketing. So how many have heard the term new normal? And how's your business doing in this new normal? How's your business changed? Many of you are probably sitting there waiting for that call during the COVID time. So one of the things that happens, business continually changes. And just share with you a little story of a client I worked with back in Alberta, especially when we had a huge recession, much like what we went through in 2018 here. And then, of course, with the pandemic thrown on top of that, it's created a lot of change. And so our agency was approached to rename a bank, which was the Bank of Alberta in Alberta, and the Pacific and Western Bank in BC merged together, formed a new bank right about the time that interest rates in Alberta and most of Canada were 26% for mortgages and 13% for personal loans and so on. The challenge we had was, first of all, positioning them differently from the major banks. And secondly, people in our area, especially in Western Canada, were unhappy with the way the big banks dealt with business. So a bunch of businessmen got together, formed the bank. We branded it Canadian Western Bank, created the identity for it. And then we realized there were some things that were missing in the big banking system. One was there was no sit-down banking. In a lot of the areas where their bank was, there were seniors. So they wanted to sit down, the ability to sit down. There was also some things that other banks weren't doing, telephone banking, drive-through banking. So we changed how people saw banks. And then because the interest rates were so high, we realized that part of the message had to be we're focused on the customer. So we came up with a tagline, the real interest is you. So why I say this is because business is always changing. Whether it's the pandemic or some other effect on business, it's always changing. But the way of marketing is a process. Many people think that marketing is an event. We'll throw some stuff out there and we'll get some business. It's not. So one of the things I realized was missing in the whole marketing realm was a way of, first of all, analyzing what you're currently doing, determining what your revenue is based on what you're currently doing, and then looking at how we can improve that to raise the profitability of your business. And so we have a system called the Profit Acceleration Software System. And in relation to that, I work with clients on a coaching basis to walk them through this process we call the 5-step profit formula, which starts with the foundation of the business. Then we go through the lead generation process, conversion process, transaction process, increasing the number of transactions, and last of all, the aspect of building profitability, cutting costs, and other ways of being able to increase revenues. So from a perspective of the foundation of the business, a critical component of the business in general, but particularly around sales and marketing, is strategy. If you have the wrong strategy, you're going after the wrong target market, and you don't have the right messages and so on, it's going to fail. So we need to figure out how to create what we call a market dominating position. So no matter where you are in the market, can you own that part of the market? Another aspect in many businesses today, and you're probably experiencing this, is we don't have our procedures and processes and policies in place in an organized fashion to automate our business. And we're not spending enough time educating customers and building trust and expertise. And we're trying to be all things to all people. As Mabel Peabody here, she's got a beauty parlor, a chainsaw repair, and a nightclub. So, yeah. And interesting enough, in real life, we had a project with a client a few years ago where I'd done a presentation at an event up in Fort McMurray, and afterwards the business development person came up to me and said, "Do you do any consulting?" And I said, "Yes, we do." She handed me her business card and I said, "Let me guess." I looked at the back of it. There was 15 different names and logos you can see here. And I said, "You spend probably about 45 minutes in a meeting explaining what the heck this is." And she says, "Yeah, exactly." So we went through a process of rebranding and came up with a new name for the organization that was based on partially it was a wholly owned Aboriginal group that owned the businesses. And so we created a name that connected with their heritage, which is the Athabasca Chippewa Dene Nation. But it also happened to tie with the first name of the very first business, which was literally one guy in a pickup truck. So it had the heritage there, it had the connection to the Aboriginal group, and people could remember and recall the name. And the key is, whatever messages you have, you need to be able to recall, the customer needs to be able to recall the name, but they also need to recall your messages quickly. So you need the right target market, the right marketing and sales strategy. Alan, can you just click that? It's not, yeah, there we go, thank you. You need the right brand, you need the right message, you need the right offer at the right time, and you need to use the right media as well. So we're going to talk about a little bit about, first of all, lead generation. And one of the reasons we're talking about LinkedIn today is it's the best tool you can use to generate leads from a business perspective. But also there's multiple other different channels you can use depending on where your clients are. So if you build a referral system, oftentimes that will help generate business, whether you use joint ventures and alliances. If you can create some publicity and promotion, then that can also generate leads. There's direct marketing, and it still works. Believe it or not, about 68% of all mail is opened if it's addressed to the individual. There's still advertising, many different ways of advertising. There's digital marketing, and there's multiple other different ways you can approach clients to generate leads. The key is, once you generate leads, what do you do? And if you look at social media and the whole world of the internet, There are so many options, and too many businesses try and do it all. And that's a big mistake. You need to pick a couple to work with to start, and then from there, build on that to grow your lead generation process. Big mistake that most businesses make is they do the tactical approach. They do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They try some advertising on Google ads or Google AdWords and so on. And then they go back and say, see, marketing doesn't work. The fact is, if it's not strategic and it's not continuous and it's not done in a systematic process, it's going to fail. So they blame the media for lead generation, but it's really the strategy. It's the message you have and how you deliver that message to the right audience that's important. Also, many businesses rely on platitudes, so it doesn't differentiate them from other businesses. You know, we have the best service, we have the best quality. We've been in business since the internet happened, so on and so forth. But the fact is that doesn't really work because your competition can say exactly the same thing in many cases. So we need to be able to take leads and convert them to paying customers. Some of the ways we can do that, and I'm going to show you some examples this morning, is we can create drip campaigns, so email drip campaigns that go out automatically to reach your customers and provide valuable information, not a sales pitch, valuable information. And then we have to improve our follow-up once we generate the leads and be able to close our sales once we do get those leads. And one of the ways to do that is make sure that you have scripts that you can follow, or your sales team or whoever's in your organization can follow, to make sure you've got all the information in there that's necessary for the customer. And most of all, do you have a compelling offer? And I'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. More transactions. So you may be getting lots of leads, you may even be converting them, but is the sales team closing the deal? Are the people that are doing the selling, and that may be you if you own your own business, are you able to close the deals? And are you setting up enough appointments? Is your appointment system automated? Can you provide additional products and services? Can you create joint ventures to provide more value to the customer? Can you increase the frequency? Can you downsell, upsell, or add-on sell to be able to generate more revenue and build more transactions? So here's an example, a landscaper. Well, during the summertime, they're probably very busy, but if you live in Alberta where we get winter, they may have to look at other alternatives to earn some revenue. So here's a multiple different ways they can do that. Can you create more profits? Well, one of the ways is cutting costs for your marketing and advertising if you're spending a lot of money in that area and not getting results. There's multiple other different areas in your business where you can also cut costs. Can you bundle products together which provide more value, but also don't cost you any more money? And like I say, I mentioned upselling and cross-selling. And so upselling is just taking them up to the next level. You've all experienced buying a car. You see the top of the line model in the showroom, and you go out to look at the car that you're thinking of buying, and they go, oh, well, if you're interested in the chrome wheels and you want a leather interior and blah, 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 that's an upsell. Cross-selling is what we normally talk about is what goes naturally with what you're doing. So if you've ever done a home renovation, you're looking to paint the house, well, you buy a bucket of paint, you may want a brush, some tape, so on and so forth, plastic to cover the floor. That's a cross-sell. And can we increase the longevity of buying? So can customers buy over a longer period of time or buy more over a shorter period of time? And last of all, increase the price. Typically what happens with a lot of businesses, they go, oh, I can't increase the price. The customers will all go away. But in reality, is that true? So the keys to successful marketing are simply this. First of all, you have to have a market dominating position, which means you have to own your part of the market. It doesn't have to be the top of the market. It doesn't have to be the highest volume. It just has to be your part, the part you do best with customers. We use a conversion formula, which I'll talk about shortly, to be able to take people from interest to buying. And do you have a compelling information offer? That's not a sales pitch. It's providing valuable information to the customer. Also, do you have a strategic marketing campaign? And if you do, and let's just bring up a quick poll here, Alan.
Sure.
Oh.
Okay, so launch.
So how many leads do you get a month from your current marketing efforts? If you can just pick the number there, and we'll do a quick poll and see what the average is.
Start clicking, people. Click, click, click away.
Yep. Everybody see the poll?
I hope so. Can you guys see the poll? Someone type in the chat box yes or no if you can see the poll properly. Can you see the poll, David? Okay, here we go.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Yep, yeah. Good.
Come on, people. Click on the thing. This becomes much more fun if everybody participates. Come on, a few more. Click on a number. Come on.
So we've got 2 people so far. Everybody able to see the poll up there? There we go. We got a few more. We got 4 left. Should have maybe, yeah, okay. I was going to say we do have none in there. Yep. All right. Well, this isn't a summary of everybody's, but it looks like in general, people are getting 0 to 5 leads per month.
Okay.
All right. So if we look at our businesses in general, 0 to 5 leads a month means probably out of that, you may get less than 1% of those becoming a contact that can turn into a paying customer. So that means we got to increase your lead generation. So coming back to market dominating position, let me just share with you a quick thought about how that works. If we look at in the taxi world, Uber beat the taxi market up pretty bad. They wound up being the alternative to taxis, and most people wanted to take Uber rather than taxis because they were classy cars. They were clean inside. They had an exclusive, luxurious look, and so it was more appealing than what existed in the market, which positioned them at the top of the market. Lyft came along and said, well, how do we compete against Uber? So they positioned themselves against. So the branding and culture was different. They had an uplifting logo, which was pink. And they also had cars that when they first started out with bright pink fuzzy mustache on the front, riders could sit up front and talk to the drivers. And the drivers are positioned as fun and interesting. So as a result, they wound up taking a market share away from Uber and becoming a dominant player in the market. So that's one way of positioning. The challenge is this: if you don't have a proper marketing process and plan, and you're not consistent with your branding, and you're not communicating with your customers on a regular basis, then your marketing's going to suck. So here's the conversion formula. First of all is the interrupt part. We've got to get inside the head of the customers to get some engagement going on. And then from there, the engagement part is the headline that says we have a solution to your problem. So the headline's usually, here's what the problem is, or you have a problem and we have a solution. The next part is to educate them as to why that's important for them to consider you as the provider. And last of all, we must have an offer that's compelling enough and easy enough for them to do. So here's an interesting example of interrupting the thinking of the customer, in that what better time to get braces than right now when people are all wearing masks. So if you've got marketing messages out there already, here's some tests for you. First of all, if there's something that you say, the customer would say, well, I hope so. for instance, accurate information. Well, if you're a financial planner or a banker, I would hope so. Can another company say what you say? If they can, then you're not standing out uniquely. And can you take your marketing message, put the name of another company or competitor in there, and the message sounds exactly the same? Then you're not unique. You're not dominating the market. So from a perspective of, well, I hope so, here's a sign: septic tanks, pumps, swimming pools filled, not the same truck. I would hope so. So the offer, a lot of times businesses create an incentive offer, which is things like discounting or buy one, get one free, gift with purchase, and so on. The problem for that situation is they sacrifice price integrity and profitability, and it's easy to comparison shop and pick the lowest price. Plus, it only appeals to the buyers that are looking to buy right now. So the alternative to that is to create what we call a compelling offer. So that's an information piece that helps customers decide that you are the provider that they should work with, simply because you're offering enough information to help them decide and learn about what you do in the business. So a mortgage broker, 8 mortgage mistakes that people make and how to avoid them. A sunroom company, giving people examples and ideas about how to build a nice sunroom for their house. Self-assessment tool if you're in the financial business, where people can go onto your website and do an assessment, and then the assessment comes to you and you can talk to them. Or how about home remodeling companies? How many have tried to hire a home remodeling company and found it was a miserable failure? One, because they didn't really know how to manage that home renovation provider. So this is a guide that says, here's how to work with home renovation companies. So the advantage is, one, it builds trust. There's no cost. People can read and learn about what you do. It establishes a relationship, and it offers them evidence of claims that you provide. Plus, it appeals to the other future buyers. So here's what happens typically is there's a threshold of resistance. So when you're first thinking of buying that's in the future, there's a lower threshold of resistance. And when you get to the point where you're deciding, the vendor selection is high tension and high resistance, because they don't know who they should buy from, whether they can trust them, and whether they're going to deliver what they say they're going to deliver. So in reality, about 3% of your market is ready to buy now, maybe 6 to 7% open to buying, 30% not thinking about buying, 30% don't think they're interested, and 30% will never buy. So the question for me and you is, why be in a dogfight for the 3%? Why not market to the other 97% that your competition is probably not going after? So here's an example, typical chiropractor marketing. You see it on their websites and in their marketing is call for a free exam, schedule an appointment. But what if a chiropractor did this? An informational offer that said, free back pain report, revolutionary new treatment, cures back pain forever. Would customers open that up and read it? Most likely they would. And it's really a low threshold entry point to connect with your potential market. So in our system, we have over 60 plus revenue generating opportunities for helping customers be able to solve their problems. So I'm going to share with you a few strategies. First one is a joint venture strategy. So let's say you're a florist. Well, if you're a florist, you can see here, before people decide to buy Al, can you go back, please? Thank you. You can see here that before people decide to buy flowers, there's many other steps they go through. So those could be referral partners for the business. And then a florist could refer to wedding cake bakery, printers, and so on. So the advantage with that is you're sharing your network, you're being able to promote each other, build a much larger market share. And that works for any business. What's the event chain for your particular business? So here's an example of strategy number 2, and that's making your advertising work for you. So a psychologist, this was the original website, which is much like many other professionals, parenting advice and resources from Dr. John Smith, free consultation book now, specialized in 9 different areas. So we all know if you're specialized in 9 different areas, you're not really specialized, although he is working with children. So from this particular website, he was getting about 300 leads per month and converting an average of 10%. 3 customers would book a consultation and 3 became new patients. So this represents typical 1% conversion in most businesses. So this was the original video script. It was on his website. Greeting parents, my name's Dr. John Smith. There's hundreds of pages of articles. Now, I don't know about you, I'm a busy guy. If there's hundreds of pages of articles, are people actually going to read that? Well, most likely not. So he was getting 300 leads per month, 60 opted in. Once we changed the website, he had been getting 300 leads, 60 were opting in for free information, which meant he was getting 6 clients out of that process. 54 qualified prospects did not engage. So what that means is that he didn't get those customers yet. The key here is another approach, which is, first of all, we created a landing page which focused on one aspect of a problem. So remember the formula I'd shared with you, the formula that we use for conversion. Well, first of all, was to interrupt the customer's thinking and are you sick and tired of yelling, screaming, belligerent attitude of your child? Then engage them and say there's a solution to that problem. Learn the secrets in 60 seconds, not hundreds of pages of articles, 60 seconds. Sign up here to get your free information piece. That's the offer. We also changed the video script to be able to get people to enter your name in the box on the email. That puts them into a funnel. And from there, that gives them the opportunity to learn information about how to solve their immediate problem so that it'll convince them to come back and perhaps sign up for a consultation. So from that, we created a landing page, which was focused specifically on that aspect of getting people's attention, one problem, one solution. And that increased the lead generation to 20%, which meant that there was an average of 6 new patients per month at a value of about $800, which meant $2,400 per month in an increase in revenues, or $28,000 annually. Could you use that in your business? So like I say, we put 54 prospects back into the funnel, which meant from that, we put a drip campaign, email drip campaign together, which is an automated way of reaching out to potential customers. And this generated 72 clients in a 12-month period. So it just nurtures them from the process of being future customers to potential buyers. And from that perspective, we did an analysis of his business in the beginning, and he was pulling in about $400,000 a year. And from that, with adding those few strategies, 3 strategies to his business, we were able to, he was earning $250,000 a year. We managed to get that up to $400,000 a year. And how we did that was simply using a system called the Profit Acceleration Software System to look at the various areas of his business. And we can analyze up to 48 different areas. And then in the coaching process, we have a library, which gives us access to information, lessons, and also examples that people can use in 400 different businesses. So here's a customer in the office or in the grocery store. What exactly is new improved lettuce? Well, if the customer can't see the difference, there is no difference. So the key here is you need to differentiate in the market. And so there's a free offer, a free download of the ebook on my website. Please go there and download it. There's no obligation to that. And then in the new year, we're going to be launching 2 more books that are going to be available through my website. So if you're interested, please put a note in the chat with your email, and be happy to let you know when those are released.
Yeah, David will let you know.
And on
But
that
we'll
note,
put links in the chat box.
yeah, we'll put the links up.
Does
Exactly.
anybody have any questions for David right now? Just toss them in the chat box. We'll be happy to answer them for you.
No question. Wow.
Cool. Well, let's keep on going then. We're going to answer more questions at the very end as well. So the first thing I want to ask you, and by just typing in yes or no, Y or N in the chat box, how many of you think you're using LinkedIn properly for lead generation or marketing? Just type in the chat box Y or N. Of course it means offering a free consultation. Deborah, yep, for sure. So anybody want to type in the chat box Y or N if you think you're using LinkedIn's database of 880 million plus for lead generation or marketing properly? Come on, people, let's do some things over here and type in the chat box, please. Y or N? Got one N so far. Come on. No. Anybody else? Okay. Yeah, so I see this a lot. Most people are frustrated with LinkedIn because they don't know all the different pillars. So, why should you use LinkedIn at all? Because, like I said, there's 880 million plus users on it worldwide. You have a database that can reach the world, right? 160 million of those users are in North America. 44% of people on LinkedIn have a income of more than $75,000 per year, as opposed to Facebook, which is only $30,000 per year. So what does it mean for you? Huge potential for lead generation and marketing, and the people on LinkedIn have the money to spend on your services and your programs. So, let's see here. Today, I'm going to talk about the 4 pillars that I recently created on LinkedIn for success in 2022. LinkedIn's gone through a lot of changes over the last, a couple of years, especially when they came out with a new change recently, which is you're only allowed to send out 100 connection requests a week, as opposed to beforehand it was almost unlimited, and that put a big damper on not only my lead generation efforts in the beginning, but also my clients as well. I had to really pivot and figure out what the heck I'm going to do for them to not keep on, having the 5 to 15 sales calls that I was generating for my clients every single week, and I figured this out here. Is your profile outstanding, completed 100%? So the first thing is, will people accept your connection request? How many of you have gone to LinkedIn? It's going to pop onto my computer here or internet here and gone to the My Network page on LinkedIn and looked at people's headshots or their banners or their profiles in general and gone, is this person professional? Should I connect with them? Will they be a good connection for me on my database, on my profile? And here we have this random person. I just got that connection request today. A fuzzy kind of picture, no cover banner, and only CTO of his own company on his profile. So this is typically the kind of profiles I see on a regular basis on LinkedIn. And if this is you right now, would you accept this person's connection request? Probably not, because, there's nothing really on here at all. Like, really nothing on here at all. So no recommendations really, no contacts really, so, it makes a big difference to make sure that you have a fully finished profile. Next thing is, are you constantly growing your list on LinkedIn and increase the numbers of either first connections and or followers? If you don't do that, then you're not going to get the reach you want. So when you post your content on LinkedIn, you're not going to be able to, get a inbound marketing strategy. So I call, there's 2 types of strategies on LinkedIn. There's an outbound, sending your connection requests and your people that you're connected to on LinkedIn messages on a regular basis, hoping they'll eventually book a meeting with you. And then people seeing your content and seeing your information and seeing your profile and then asking you for a meeting because they see you as being the expert in your field. And it's very, very important also not only to have a content marketing strategy, but also having a content engagement strategy on LinkedIn as well. I'll explain that later on. And then, are you using the LinkedIn event platform? So the LinkedIn event platform came out about a year ago, and I've been using it with David for probably about a year now, and we've had great success on doing these webinars on a regular basis. So, are you doing the same thing as well? Your profile has to be more than an online business card. It's got to be your personal brand and especially a high-powered marketing tool and platform. You got to be expanding your network, grow your credibility and authority. You got to stand out from your competition. As David said beforehand, if you have information on your profile that get put on other people's profiles, your profile is not unique enough, and you need to fix that because people want to work with the absolute experts. A long time ago, I had some people in the press call me LinkedIn Wizard. I thought that's a great title for me, so I stood out with that title and making sure I stand out from the competition because now, over the last couple of years, there's been a prolific explosion of people claiming to be LinkedIn lead generation and LinkedIn marketing experts. And so, are you creating engaging content on a regular basis? Most of my clients really fall short in the content creation part of their formula on LinkedIn. And I'm here to help you and show you how to do some of those things also. So promoting your events, building a following. So, everybody's heard the saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression. It's very, very important, once again, you have an extremely professional looking profile that makes people go, wow. That includes a great headshot. That also includes having a great cover banner. And by having a cool, engaging cover banner, you can really stand out from your competition. And as I said beforehand, people will often decide whether to accept your connection request based upon your professional headshot and profile from the network page. So they don't see some really cool things on the My Network page as far as invitation. Chances are they may not even accept your connection request, and therefore, nothing else happens afterwards. If people aren't your first connection, nothing much happens afterwards. And here are some examples of some great cover banners I've seen over the years that I've taken collections. I got hundreds of these. So when I design a cover banner for my clients, these are the type of quality I create now for my clients to make sure that people look at these and go, wow, that's really cool stuff. What to wear and how your headshot should look. What is the first thing that stands out for all of you when you see these headshots? Everybody smiling. Everybody looks friendly. Everybody looks professional. So if you have a client or you have your cover photo on your LinkedIn and you're looking very, very stoic and looking very, very serious, well, that's going to hurt you because, people want to connect with people who are friendly, likable. The old saying, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Well, that cover banner and that headshot goes a long way to having people pre-trust, pre-like, and want to do business with you before they even talk to you. I get so many people on LinkedIn when I actually do a Zoom call with them finally saying, I've been following your content for a long time. I feel like I almost know you. The next thing is your profile property optimized. There's something called SEO, which is search engine optimization, usually reserved for websites to be found ranking high on Google. I stopped doing LinkedIn or website SEO a long time ago and started niching in on LinkedIn SEO. And LinkedIn SEO is putting the phrases and the language into your profile, into your headline, especially the first, let me show you this to you here, the first part of your headline on LinkedIn. So let's see here, here's my profile here. So what is the number one thing that you want people to find you on LinkedIn for when they type something in the search bar to find a service or find a person? And that should be the very first piece of content in your professional headline. I want to be found as a LinkedIn lead generation expert. And then the rest is obviously what I do. And it answers my questions of who am I, what do I do, how can I help you, and why should you use my services as opposed to anybody else's services. And as you can see on my LinkedIn profile, I'm just about to crack 20,000 followers. So that's been a while for me coming, and it's really exploded since I started doing lots and lots of content marketing. I've done more content marketing in the last 12 months on LinkedIn than I have in the last 12, 13, 14 years of being on LinkedIn. And it's very, very important that once again, not only do you have a content marketing strategy, but as you can see, I also now have a LinkedIn content engagement strategy to make sure that when I have, post content on LinkedIn, I get reactions, I get comments, I get likes, I get shares, I get views. All very, very important for you, because the LinkedIn algorithm says to you that if you don't get engagement right away, we're not going to show your content to anybody at all. And then getting back to your headline, don't just put you're the CEO of your company. Let that other guy put in his thing here. What is that guy? That guy here. CTO, right? What does that tell me? Nothing at all. So very, very important. You put in, the 4 things people want to know when they go to LinkedIn is: who are you? Write this down, please. Who are you? What do you do? Especially, what can you do for me? And why should I use your services as opposed to the hundreds of thousands of people on LinkedIn who do exactly the same thing you do? And the reason that what I tell people, when they ask that question for me, is I've been doing this almost 13 years on LinkedIn. I've been running an actual lead generation agency for almost 11 years now. It'll be 11 years of January 2022. And I collected the data from hundreds and hundreds of clients as far as what works now on LinkedIn. And I belong to some pretty elite masterminds on LinkedIn that actually talk to LinkedIn every single month, and they bring that information back to the students, including myself, as far as what are the changes happening on LinkedIn, how does the algorithm work. Also, I belong to networking groups on LinkedIn that actually tests and measures the algorithm on a regular basis, so we know exactly what's happening, we know exactly what to do and when to do it. So having someone like that in my back pocket, I wish I had that person myself when I was starting on a LinkedIn, over 15 years ago. LinkedIn lead generation expert, as well as cool things like this. Here's some cool things you might not have known how to do or seen on LinkedIn beforehand. Bum, 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 bum. Hi, I'm Alan Fine from LinkedIn Leads, and I can get you a never-ending stream of leads from LinkedIn. So that little button is only available on mobile. So if you want to get that little thing for yourself and also have your little picture turn into a small little video quickly, hopefully it'll do it. There it goes. So you can click on people's pictures on LinkedIn, and it comes up with a little video once again, and that is only on mobile. Here's an example of great profile. One of my coaches, Shay Rowbottom, really amazing person. And then all the things I talked about within her profile of who is she, what does she do, what can she do for me, and why should I use your service. And also make sure you have a call to action in your banner and also your profile, like direct message me, connect with me, talk to me, apply to learn more on my website, that kind of thing. So getting back to LinkedIn SEO, making sure you use the keywords and phrases you want to be found on, but also the keywords and phrases within your about section, within your headline that are tailored to your audience. If you're in the medical field, use medical phrases. In the oil and gas field, use oil and gas phrases, and don't overcomplicate things. I had clients who, I remember some clients back a while back that, use, very big words and even, things I never heard of myself at all. And that's going to only confuse your possible prospects on LinkedIn. Your about section. This has got to your LinkedIn profile. Surprisingly, people have usually terrible about sections, and I help them copyright their about sections. You have 2,000 characters to describe who you help, how you help them, and what sets you apart from the pack. Make sure that your about section, and I'll show you mine for a second so you can see what exactly that looks like. Here we are. Also, I have some cool little emojis in here. Schedule a call with me. I have a call to action on my about section. Here's my calendar booking link so people can contact me. So and then teaching my clients or teaching my possible prospects. I've been on LinkedIn since 2009. I just actually looked at my back end as a way of doing that, going to the back end and settings and privacy, and figure out when you join LinkedIn as well. The summary should talk about your client's pain point. So on a regular basis, you all hear in your different industries, what is the pain point you're hearing on a regular basis, and making sure that in your content marketing, in your about section, in your headline, you're talking about these pain points and how you solve them. Very, very important. Here's some examples of before and after shots of LinkedIn profiles I have done. There's a little cutoff on that one for some reason, but here they are. So once again, not a great headshot, no cover banner, and this is how it looked after I edited the profile for this person, and they started getting great lead generation and great marketing happening, and people contacting him about his product. Here's some samples of great profile headlines. Did you put that in there already, David?
Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect, fantastic. Also, making sure you have lots of rich media and have some sizzle in your steak, as I call it. And here's what I'm talking about here. So, you can put things in your featured area here. So here's a video I did on LinkedIn, and I'm on content marketing. And making sure that your information here, your videos have some great background music, and you have some, great graphics.
Your LinkedIn action plan. Make sure you have one for 2022.
The reason you want to do it like this and have this, like flashy types of, content is because you are competing with everybody in the feed here. So, how many of you have gone through the feed and actually looked at content? Some people's content gets, no likes, no comments. So you can see some of the people here, getting great thing here. So here's one from this company called BlackRock. Surprisingly enough, their company page has 998,750 followers, which is mind-blowing how many followers their company page has. But look at this over here, 17 likes, that's it. So, is your content engaging? Is your content going to help people out? Is your content going to make people click on it and go, wow, that is pretty amazing. I need to contact this person because I need that service, or I'd love to have this kind of help, and have this kind of person help me out. Next thing is, can you put the SSI thing on LinkedIn on the chat box there, David? Dave?
Yes.
Great.
Coming right up.
Great, awesome, thank you. So this is called your SSI score, Social Selling Index, which lets you know how good are you doing on LinkedIn as far as engaging with people, finding the right people to become your connections, engaging with insights, building relationships, right? So having a SSI score of 80 plus or plus is where you're headed for, what you want to do. Because this will actually help you rank better when people put certain key phrases. You're probably wondering, well, how does LinkedIn decide who shows up on page one when you put a key phrase into the LinkedIn search bar over here, and what happens? Residential painting, for instance, right? So residential painting, here's people. So why is LinkedIn showing this Trevor Z. Marshall to me as far as the first person on LinkedIn? Well, he's probably got residential painting in his headline, probably has residential painting in his about section, and has residential painting and probably a lot of his posts and information. So that's what you want to do to make sure you properly SEO your LinkedIn profile. Content marketing is going to be key for 2022, and that's what I told you about the 4 pillars. So, what kind of content should you be posting? Slideshows, static posts, video creation, polls are very popular on LinkedIn. But once again, it's not only important to have a content marketing strategy, but also it's very, very important to have a content engagement strategy. Because if you don't have a content engagement strategy, guess what? LinkedIn is going to show your content to nobody. You start out with 10% and they either go up, or you stay at 10% and LinkedIn doesn't show your content to anybody at all. Also, a great way of getting new leads and getting new people to notice you is comment on other people's posts and articles, especially if that person that you're commenting on is in your target market. You want to have that person possibly become your client. A great way to get their attention is to go on their profile on LinkedIn and look at their content and comment on their content, and make sure you put the @ in the comment, because that will notify them on LinkedIn in their notifications over here. They'll get notifications, right? This person looked at my comment, and this person's had 1,020 reactions and 115 comments on their post, and they responded to my comment on their post. So I'm always commenting on other people's posts. People are commenting on my posts on a regular basis, and that's pretty amazing way of getting people to notice you. What can you do as far as content marketing, and what kind of engagement can you get if you follow this advice as far as posting content on a regular basis? Well, look at this person. Look her up on LinkedIn, Bridget Hasianth. This person has now, I believe, close to 4 million followers on LinkedIn. And when you have 4 million followers on LinkedIn, guess what happens? You have built yourself an inbound marketing funnel where this person on a regular basis gets so much business, as well as gets a lot of keynote speaking on a regular basis also. So, what is the hottest thing on LinkedIn? In 2021, it's posting video content.
You're not using LinkedIn event platform, and it's costing you money.
So, how can you have all
Hey,
these
it's Alan
things here?
Fine here again with a great idea for your trade show.
So having yourself in your videos, and people say, well, I can't do that at all. I created videos on this. Having yourself in your own videos is where you should be. You should always be the star in your own videos, and maybe bring other people in your own videos as well, or talk about things, because once again, if you are posting content where you're talking to your target audience, you will get them to know, like, and trust you. And I can't tell you how many times people say, oh, I've seen your videos, Al, I've seen all your stuff. I feel like I know you already. So, once again, look at some of these are actual, screenshots of other people creating video content on LinkedIn. Look at this. 1,313 likes, 380 comments, and 26,000 views. 1,631 likes, 531 comments, and 27,000 views. And this last one has 43,000 views. So if you don't think that's going to impact your lead generation and marketing, you don't know what you're talking about, because you're going to build, once again, an inbound marketing funnel. And last thing I want to talk about today is the event platform, making sure on a regular basis you are using the event platform to drive people to your educational marketing events, because that's the strongest form of marketing there is on the planet, letting people know who you are and what you do. And all you do is go to the LinkedIn event platform, is find it on the homepage of LinkedIn right here. You see this little thing called events right here. Click on the plus button, this little pops up, you create your event. You want to always try to create your event from your company page, by the way, because if you do, you can then download people's email addresses, and you can stay with contact with them afterwards by clicking on manage event, manage attendees, and this little link over here gives you their email addresses, so you can either put them on a drip campaign, like David said, because not all people are ready by now. In fact, people registering on the event platform might not be ready to come to your event now. They might be just registering on it just because they did that and forgot about it afterwards. And you need to, be in contact with them on a regular basis to make sure that you can, help them out when they're ready. So, David and I have a great offer for you today, because at the end of these, people always ask us, how can we help them? And here it is. Dave, want to chime in here?
Hey, you bet, Ellen. Well, first of all, if you can make that a little bigger, then everybody can see it.
Yeah, for sure. Want to pop the link in also the chat box?
Yeah, you bet. So Alan has a package. I have a package as well. So related to what I talked about today is we'll do an analysis of your current position as far as marketing, whether you're doing a little or you're doing a lot, whether it's bringing in results or not. And then we'll provide you with a report on what you've got currently and where the potential is to increase revenues. We'll look at up to 12 different areas of your business in the software. And once we've done that, we'll be able to have a conversation with you about what you might be doing differently in your business to be able to increase the results of your current marketing and adding some additional approaches in marketing that'll help bring in more revenue. So,
and on my side,
Alan, do you want to?
yeah, on my side, I'm going to do a detailed analysis of your LinkedIn profile and provide also a LinkedIn profile audit PDF for you. I'm going to record it on Zoom with you, and also, tell you exactly what's changed, how to change it, what to do exactly. I'll also give you some scripts and things about what you should send to your target market, and then I'll record the whole thing, give it to you afterwards. And then if you have any questions about the recording, you can ask me follow-up questions as well. If you want me to do the whole thing for you, we'll have other packages as well, and then also have packages for ongoing, very robust lead generation on my website. And during that initial audit, we can talk about what do you want to have happen. And usually now that I've pivoted and pulled in the 4 components of the lead generation and marketing on LinkedIn that I finally crafted again and cracked the formula on LinkedIn, I can now honestly say I can almost guarantee you 5 to 15 new leads per week, every single week on a regular basis, as long as you're doing what I tell you to do, and with me on my Done For You program doing most of the work. So I want to open up the platform now to any kind of questions and answer. Also, Dave is going to pop some links into the chat for a profile makeover PDF, and also David's marketing strategies ebook. So if you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, Alan, just before you do that as well, as Alan mentioned, I also have additional packages where I will work with you on a regular basis monthly to do coaching. We have an offer for that. And if you're interested in coaching consulting combination, we can talk about that as well. And we'll get into developing your strategy, also looking at areas where you may need some assistance to be able to implement your marketing. So happy to chat about that afterwards. The offer we have currently here is just an entry point offer that can help you get started with what you're wanting to do in your business.
Right.
So, yeah.
So Scott asked me, do you need Sales Navigator for the link? And no, you don't need a Sales Navigator. Nope, you don't need Sales Navigator for the link. But you do want to have Sales Navigator if you're planning on doing ongoing, robust lead generation and marketing on LinkedIn. Then yes, I would definitely say you need Sales Navigator, because not only does Sales Navigator give you the most robust filters on LinkedIn, so you can laser target into your target market, but also if you've ever done a lot of surfing on LinkedIn, you might have come up on that LinkedIn page that says you can't look at any more profiles, especially if you're on the free version. So, people always ask me about LinkedIn Premium. Should I have a premium package or a paid for membership on LinkedIn? So any membership on LinkedIn is called Premium, and there basically are 4 of them. There's Career, Business, Sales Navigator, and Recruiter. And business is about $30. Career is about $30 a month. Business is about $50 a month. Sales Navigator is about $80 a month, and then Recruiter is about $100 and change a month. So I hope that answers your question, Scott. Anybody else have any detailed questions on LinkedIn or for David? We'll be happy to answer them.
I was just going to also mention in that regard, Alan, there are other alternatives to building your database and using what we call a CRM, customer relationship management tool. So there's a number of different options in that area, and I'm happy to chat with you about that. The key is bringing the leads in, keeping track of the leads, and then putting them into a system that can automate your marketing process. You're not having to send out individual emails and track individual calls and so on. It just makes life much simpler when you're automated.
Yes, I have some automation in my systems also. So anybody have any questions, unmute yourself, ask them. We'll be happy to stay here and answer any questions you have right now.
And if you don't want to ask them in person online, then happy to, I'll pop both Alan's and my contact information into the chat box, and we're both happy to answer them by email, or if you'd like, Alan and I both offer a consultation, brief consultation for 20 minutes, and happy to chat with you on that if there's specific things you want to talk about related to your own business.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions at all? Scott, Greg, Roy, Andrew, Ken, Deborah? We must have done a phenomenal job, man. You guys have no questions at all.
Well, I just wanted to mention as well, if you are interested in Alan's and my package, please, by all means, go into our offer. There's a button at the bottom, so it's automatic.
I want to pop the offer in the chat box again there, Dave. The link to it.
Yeah, shall do.
Yeah, that's a great offer, man, because I charge way more money than this usually for my clients to get their profiles analyzed and tell them what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Our key here, and the reason Alan and I do this on a regular basis, is we want to be able to help kickstart what you're doing in the way of your business and get you up to the next level. And from that point of view, we're happy to contribute a bit of our time and energy. And this is why we put these webinars on, is to give people some insights into what the opportunities are.
Yeah.
And the key is stop doing it the hard way, do it the easy way.
Yeah, exactly. And have someone like, I wouldn't fix my air conditioner or my car.
No.
It'll be a disaster. I want to talk to the expert.
Yeah, exactly.
Questions, Greg? You look like you're unmuting yourself there. You got a question for us at all?
I just wanted to thank both of you for taking the time and sharing some ideas. Just a general comment on your banner work, Alan. They seem very busy to me. There seems to be a lot of content on the banner, which makes it often hard to read. Any comments?
Yeah, I mean, you want to find a nice happy medium, right? If you look at the top LinkedIn people though who are doing this on a regular basis, most of them have some really nice banners. I haven't seen too many of them, it all depends who they are. I actually looked at Melinda Gates' banner today, just her walking down a hall in a school somewhere. But I mean, if you really want to have, a phenomenal banner for yourself, once again, especially nowadays where people's attention spans are, short because they're flooded with so much information on a regular basis, you want to have a little sizzle in your steak. So, what differentiates yourself from the rest of the people who are in your industry, who are doing the same thing you do? I like to have a little bit of flash in there, as long as you have the substance afterwards. I don't see a problem with the flash.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have any comments on that at all?
Not crazy about the flash myself,
No?
but
Okay.
I appreciate the work you're doing. And this is what I became so much more aware about LinkedIn and the impact of it. So thank you.
My pleasure. Well, thank you guys. I want to thank everybody today. Hopefully we'll see some of you on the flip side as far as the offer goes, and we'll send out some other emails to let you know that we're still around. And everybody have a phenomenal Tuesday.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
You've
Bye-bye,
got our
everybody.
contact information. Feel free to reach out.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.